Welcome back to episode 326 of the Guide and Guns podcast. I'm your host, Troy.
And I'm your other host, Doug.
We use this podcast to talk about guide guns and the responsible Christian gun owners' interests. On this week's show, we'll be talking about Christmas and all the fun stuff that goes along with that.
Mm-hmm.
First off, we want to thank our bandwidth sponsor, Primary Arms. Well, not Primary. Excuse me. Bandwidth sponsors Firearms Radio Network. If you've not checked out their shows on the Firearms Radio Network, please do. There are a multitude of new shows, and they're always working to provide some new, fresh content. And just a warning, some of those guys are a little bit more salty than the rest of us, or than me and Doug at least. And I guess the Reloading podcast guys, I haven't heard them cuss much. But check out the other shows over there. Give them a little bit of love and tell them you appreciate it if you ever see them anywhere that they sponsor our show. Also want to thank Primary Arms. Primary Arms seeks to provide the best shopping experience for everything firearms with over 13,000 products and over 400 top brands. Primary Arms carries a complete selection of rifles, handguns, firearms parts, shooting gear, apparel, and more. Every order comes with a commitment to superior service and backed by fast shipping and an expert support team serving freedom since 2008. You can find out more about Primary Arms by going to FRN Frank Romeo. What's that? Nancy November deals DEALS/PA, and you can find out more about that. Also, we don't want to forget. Before we go on to there, they Primary Arms sent me a flash suppressor brake. I guess it's a brake that also allows you to put on it's called a Chemo muzzle brake by Expo Arms. And it is designed to work with a Dare-to-Air 5.56 suppressor. But I haven't seen the suppressor come in yet. But as far as the brake, I will get that brake out and try it out. But it's got like a quick detach lock on it, so you can put on a dead air silencer. And
I was going to say, do you have a dead air?
I don't have a dead air. You have a dead air?
I do not.
Yeah, I think we need dead air silencers. Doug and I both need suppressors, and we will really talk a lot about them. If you,
I got a direct thread, so it won't work with mine.
Oh, well, we'll get another one of these from Primary Arms, and you'll be set to go. But I couldn't figure out why that they sent this to me, and then I saw their promo the other day saying that this just came out, and it's like the hottest muzzle brake on the market, and they were talking about them on Primary Arms. So that's what's going on. They sent them out for us to give them a trial. So I will do that. I also want to thank Patriot Patch Co., patriotpatch.co. If you want to find out more about the cool patches they have and stickers and shirts, and I got a box of load of stuff here that they sent of all kinds of goodies. I've been sending out with different orders and stuff. Signs, metal signs, bags of patches. And I've been sending those out with the orders you guys have been placing. I appreciate it. And we really appreciate Patriot Patch supporting this show and Jake and all he does to help keep us going. And they've got a great family. They fled out of Illinois to the safety of South Dakota, and where they have freedoms and aren't being harassed and molested by the people in Illinois who have a D behind their name. Okay, this week's Guiding Gun activities, Doug, what have you been up to? Well, it's actually been 2 weeks because I was on the road all of last week, so that was my fault. Bad on me.
So I'm trying to get our feeds and stuff to work here. For some reason, it is not wanting to play.
Which feed are we talking about?
The Facebook one. I'm trying to comment. Rick said hello, and I had to mute that. Opened it in a different browser. I got it opened up in the Edge, and I think that's what's causing me the problems.
This young lady's talking to you, Doug, not me.
Who?
Tiffany.
Oh. Oh, she's talking to you too.
Hey, there's Tiffany. Hello, Tiffany.
That's Tiff. Hello, Tiff. So let's see. What have
We got a
what
lot of
have I
people
been?
joining us tonight.
I know there are. It's I don't know what it's like up. I know. Well, I do know what it's like up there. You got storms coming,
Yep.
and it's not looking too good up there right now. I got some chance of tornadoes and stuff. So it's foggy and nasty down here. So there's not a whole lot of people out doing stuff. I wouldn't imagine. So
It was pretty nice. I mean, it was like high 50s today, but I mean, it rained on and off the other day. But for December, that's pretty nice.
hello from Fort Collins. Oh, Colton, how are
Jim
you?
Rawls is with us tonight,
Jim Zone, yeah.
so it's a good night for a show apparently because a lot of people join us tonight.
Yeah, we got a lot of people over on YouTube watching us also.
Good deal.
Let's see. What have I been doing the last 2 weeks? On the God side, been doing my Sportsman's Daily Devotional. Last night, I went to church at a local church here with me and Wendy and Tiffany and Tom went over. They had a Christmas concert going on. It was Big Daddy Weave and New Song doing their Christmas tour.
Cool.
And so we got some tickets to that and went over, and it was a lot of fun. They were really good. I hadn't actually had the opportunity to see either one of them in concert before, so they were doing a lot of Christmas songs, and it was fun. Uh, Gun side, man, I've been doing my everyday carry. That's pretty much every time. Uh, Dude, I had a good week after Thanksgiving. The day after Thanksgiving, I took off, went deer hunting. I didn't hunt Thanksgiving, which I normally do all the time, and this year I did not. I did the Thanksgiving thing, but Friday we were off from work, so I went over to a buddy of mine's. He's like, "Man, go." He said, "Ain't gonna be you by yourself, but have fun." I got over there and I had a big old doe that she's been irritating all of us, for weeks. And she was down in the woods blowing and carrying on, and she come out and she's in the field blowing. And I'm texting my buddy from the stand, and he's texting me because he's watching the spy point camera. So every time deer walks out, he texts me. He's like, "Oh man, you got a bunch of them." I'm like, "Yeah." I said, "That old blowing girl just stepped out." I said, "I'm fixing to take her out." He's like, "Do it. I wish you would." So I raised up on her, kicked the safety off, and there was a little deer standing in front of her. And I couldn't shoot, so I'm sitting there waiting. I got the gun up, and I'm looking through the scope, and out of the woods, man, Bullwinkle steps out, and all I see is antlers everywhere. I was like, "Oh my goodness!" Over there, they have to be 4 points. 4 points or better on one side. So I looked just long enough to count four on one side. I like, well, he got four on that side. I don't care what he's got on the other side. And he comes out. He had his ears laid back. And he was bristled up. And he was walking like he was the man. And he got 4 steps into the field, and I popped him. And he took off running. He'd run about almost probably 30 yards. And I had the gun up, and I kicked the shell out and put another shell in. I was still on him. And I seen him. He got that sideways run going, and all of a sudden I seen his feet come sticking up in the air. I was like, "Oh!" Well, just a couple minutes, my buddy texted me, and he's got a picture of that buck, all 4 feet off the ground in a jump where I shot him. The camera took a picture of him and sent it to him.
Wow.
He's like, "Oh man, you see that buck that just walked out?" I said, "Yeah, I just killed him." So it was a good day. I finally got him in the truck. He was well over 200 pounds on the hoof, and he was a big boy. So I wound up tying him to my receiver hitch on my truck.
Yep.
And I drug him through the field, big grass field, and I drug him over. And there's kind of a ditch that goes down through the field. And I drove over and I pulled through the ditch. When I come up the other side, my back tires got in it. And I don't know, it left my tailgate probably 1.5 feet, 2 foot maybe off the ground.
Mm.
And I still never got him in there. He did not want to get in the back of that truck, but he was going one way or the other. I was going to put him in there.
Now, if you was in Kentucky, you could just backed up to the nearest little hill and just drug him into it.
I know. just pull him straight on in. But
back into a ditch and then slide him in and pull yourself out.
But I got him. I got him in the truck.
You gotta get you a Tommy lift. You keep killing them big ones like that.
Well, I got a lift that or a winch that goes in my receiver hitch on my truck,
Right.
and I can extend it up, and it'll hold 400 pounds. And that's what I usually skin deer and stuff out with. And a lot of times, if I'm hunting by myself, I have it in the truck just in case, because I can pull the pin on it. I can lift them up, and then pull the pin and swivel them, and then lay them up on the tailgate, and then just let them down and done. But of course, I didn't have that with me because I didn't think I was going to shoot nothing that big. And it was windy. I almost didn't go because me and Wendy went out to eat dinner the night before, and something just did not sit well with me, and I just wasn't feeling good. And I woke up next morning, I still wasn't feeling good, and I was like, I'm going because he sends me a picture of a big buck on camera. I'm really not going to feel good.
Yeah, in the back of his truck.
Yeah, I shot that deer at 8:30 in the morning, and I felt fine after that. Imagine that, right?
Cured you, huh? Wrestling that big old deer around probably made whoever was in there pass.
It did. It did. It was funny. I got my buddy on the phone. I told him, I said, he called me, and I said, hold on a minute. I said, I'm packing my stuff. I'm fixing to drop my stuff out of the tree so I can climb down. I said, I'll FaceTime you back when I get on. He said, can you see him? I can't see him anywhere. I said, I know he went down. And then there was another deer that came out of the woods, and she's walking up through the field. And then I seen her raise her head up. She's looking up there. And I was like, she sees him. And she walked up there, and then she blew and run back to the woods. And then she stood there and looked at him for a second. And then she walked back out there again. And she's like, he ain't coming. He's asleep. So I got down. As soon as I got up to the top of the hill, I could see horns laying down in the field, sticking up out of the grass. And I FaceTimed him, and him and his daughter was watching the FaceTime video. Plus, they was watching the camera of all the deer running around and stuff. He said it was almost like being in the tree stand with me. I was like, well, that's pretty cool. I wish I'd had my GoPro or something running at the same time, so I could have got it on video, or shot him with a thermal. That would have been cool.
Can't hunt deer at nighttime though, can you?
Huh?
You can't hunt deers in the dark.
No, but I could have shot.
Daytime thermal.
Yeah, I could have shot him daytime with it and been fine. And but I saw that deer. It was funny, Troy. When I got there, we parked down the road a little ways from where we walk into where the gate's at, so the deer can't see the truck sitting up there. So I got out and I had my handheld thermal, and I raised up and I start scanning over the field on the other side. There's another stand over on this side. And I saw that. I'm pretty sure it was that buck. There was a big buck laying bedded down with a doe out there in that field out in front of that other stand. And I'm pretty sure it was him. And I slipped down the road, went and got in a stand, and then I could see him from the stand where I was sitting. I could look back and I could see him out there. And my buddy texted me. I told him, I said, yeah, there was two laying in the field. I said, one of them was a big buck. And he's like, hey, he was a buck. It was dark, wasn't it? I said, yeah, but I said, look at him in thermal. He said, you can see horns on the thermal? I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You can see, if you're close to us, you can see the hairs bristle in the back.
Oh yeah. My handheld is not nearly as good as my scope, but it still works good. And so
it's great for spotting and finding
it is
ears and all that stuff.
Absolutely. It works really good. But I'm pretty sure, he was bedded down at that doe, and she come down and went back in the woods and come down to where I was at and walked out, and he was still with her. And I was thinking, I was that close to pulling the trigger on killing that doe when he walked out. I was like, she got reprieved.
We're losing people left and right out there. I don't know what's going on. We had like 11 on just one Facebook feed, and we're down to 4. So we must not be keeping them interested.
Everybody's just checking in, saying hey, and then
saying hello,
going about their Christmas shopping or Christmas wrapping. But anyway, got a good buck. I have been looking for shotgun shells for duck hunting. Man, I tell you what, it's like gold if you find some.
Oh, really?
I've tried to find some steel shot because I'm going to Louisiana in a couple of weeks. for a hunt down there, and I'm going to be home for a week, and then I'm going to Arkansas for a few days, and I got shells, but some of my buddies don't have shells. But I told them, I said, we'll shoot.
That's her problem.
I said, we'll shoot mine as long as we can, and I'll do what I can. But man, I went into Academy yesterday, and they had some. They had some Winchester dry locks.
Oh yeah,
Dude, they was $34 a box. I'm
mm.
like, that there ain't
Wait,
no way.
it's inflation, man. As long as they're printing money like ain't no way tomorrow, then it's
But
gonna
that's the
keep
only ones
going
they
up.
had was just those few, and you can't find them anywhere. All my regular places I was ordering by the cases the last few years. You know, I just order a case of them, out of stock, out of
I
stock,
was
out of
at a
stock.
place I would never thought would have ammo. We're not in recent times. I was over in Hodgenville at Ace Hardware, and I just happened to be, checking out. I just looked over the person's shoulder there. There's a shelf behind them. They had all kinds of ammo:
Really,
5.56, 223, 308, 7 millimeter Magnum, 12 gauge, 12 gauge Magnum. They had like everything that you get, and not just individual 20 round boxes. 500 round boxes of 9 mil, 500 round boxes of 223, 5.56. I was like, "How long y'all had ammo?" I said, "He said, I don't know. As long as I can remember, I've been here 3 years." Like,
what?
never knew they had ammo ever. I was like, and in stock. I mean, this was, it's been a little, yeah, it's been a little while back, but it was like, when ammo just started first coming back, I said, "Did y'all have ammo during the shortage?" He goes, "Yeah, nobody really ever asked about it."
Uh,
It's like, get a sign that says ammo, put it on your window. And people buy every bit of it. I mean, that's why they didn't tell anybody.
I don't know. It's been tough though, but hey, I did get some good news this past week at work.
Yeah.
Thanks to the courts in Louisiana and the judge down there, they put an injunction against the vaccine mandate for CMS, which is Medicare Medicaid reimbursements.
Right.
And the day it came out, my work said, we're not doing it. We're
Awesome.
mandate done. So I was like, oh, thank you. I got an exemption. I had my exemption, but um, I like the fact that I'm not under any kind of mandate whatsoever.
Yep.
My granddaughter Zoe's on now watching this. Hey
Good
Zoe,
deal. Look at your
our
guys
young
again,
our
sir.
young fan base, man. Yep, that's me, man. What you been up to?
Well, let's see. On the God side, daily Bible reading. Did church security this Sunday, and I guess the previous Sunday. No, 2 Sundays before. So I did church security. We had Bulwarks put on a church security team. I guess you'd call it like a planning uh, class
Hmm.
at church, and so they needed a place to have it, and I offered to let Eric have it at our church there in Glasgow Calvary, and we had I don't know, we had like 14 people or so show up from about 4 or 5 different churches from all over the state actually. So it was pretty good. It was like a 3 hour class, and went over all the different skeleton of a security team. This is the
Hmm.
parts you need to have in place, and these are the things you need to focus on getting squared away. And then you have to sort of sit down with your team and flesh out what your actual security setup's going to be. So he went in great detail, had good presentation on stuff, and he's willing to go around all over to help people get their security team set up for their churches. Of course, if you've got to travel a long ways, you might want to help him out. He's gas and stuff like that. Whatever, I don't know how far he's willing to travel, but he's volunteered to teach as many people as he can how to get a security team up and going. Who's your key people you need, what kind of uh, uh, layouts and things like that you need to be thinking about, considering. And he starts doing role play. This happens, then what would be your response? And what would be good, bad about that, and so they're just doing these role plays that you have to sort of take your own security team. That once you get them established, if somebody came into the room and they had a gun and they started into the service, what would you do? And what could you have done to stop that from occurring? Where could you have filtered this person out? All those great things to be able to, prevent as much harm as possible and alleviate. I know I'm from Kentucky, but I still have to slow down and talk. All right, but it's just it was a great class. Had a good participation. Would like to have more, but everybody is this time of the year in December is lucky to get anybody to show up.
Right.
There's so many people already committed to all these different services, activities, and man, I mean, with volleyball, my daughter's tied up 3 nights a week, and that's just during the weekdays. And then you throw in a Saturday game, that's a lot of traveling and stuff. So I know everybody's busy, but I think it was time well spent. On the gun side, let's see. I got a new drop-in trigger. I picked it up from I think Big Daddy. Yeah, I picked it from Big Daddy, and it's I don't know if you heard it or not. The WOT trigger, wide open trigger. It's a drop-in AR trigger. Supposed
Oh,
to
you
be.
bought one?
Yeah. Yeah, they had them on Friday, a good whatever, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, something another sale, and they were really cheap. So I picked up one because I needed a new trigger for one of the builds I had, and so I'm gonna swap out one of the triggers that I've got currently in one of my guns and put it into a build for one of the family members, and then see how it works.
That,
You go through
that's
the
a
paces.
that's a go fast trigger.
It is a go fast trigger. Let's see, and then been out hunting coyotes. I was traveling all last week. I took mom back down to Florida. Um, she's gotten to feel good enough that she wanted to go ahead and go south and get out of this cooler weather up here. Took her down and took one of her friends down, and they're left them in Orlando. Came back, stopped by your house on the way back home, and
Yep.
spent the night and hung out with you. Got to see pictures about that big deer. Um, and then you fixed me breakfast next morning. That was nice. And then headed back up and stopped at Ham Radio Outlet on the way back. And that's here going into the ham portion of the thing. Stopped by HRO and saw lots of things I would like to have had, and had to really hold myself back because I've already bought nice presents for myself too much in the last year, so I have to sort of limit myself. But I did pick up a little mini ham antenna. I mean, it's got a little bitty magnetic base like that, and it's a MFJ antenna that's really low key. That my wife, I think, is going to let me put on her van. So when we're traveling with a family on a trip, I can have an outside mobile antenna. So that's going to be nice. Let's see, what else did we do? I picked up another battery from FT5 and some other stuff like that. Oh, I've been hunting coyotes since I got back. I go out at night and been calling, and I can hear them over one ridge, but I can't get them to come in. So I'm going to have to go over there and set up near their den somewhere and pick them off. Let's see, where else we got here. Oh, been looking. I got a new tractor 2 weeks ago, so I don't guess I've told you guys about it. But I got a brand new tractor, first new tractor on the farm in 40 years. The other one we got is an 82 John Deere. I forgot what, 2940, maybe. I can't remember the exact number on it. And it's been, ever since I moved back on the farm and tried to use it, it has got one problem after another. And it's just constantly having to buy parts, replace things. Had animals chew wires off, had to rewire half the tractor, had to put new batteries in it, had to change out the hydraulic fluid twice. Got an issue with, well, I just been messing with it, and it just don't have the power to do what we need to do anymore. And so we're able to get a tractor, and that was good. The farm bought that, and then I bought a hay rake yesterday and a bar rake, and then I have 3 different John Deere square balers I'm looking at. I would like to go see one of them like 2 days ago, and first chance I'm gonna get it is probably tomorrow morning as soon as the sun breaks the sky. Uh, Hopefully it will be there by the time I get there because there's another person wanting to look at it. And then there's another one, but it's like an hour and a half away. So I would prefer to get one a little closer. This one we'll look at it's like an hour away. So then I found a disc mower to cut the hay with, and but I also found a disc mine at the second place. So I'll be on the road every day this week except for today, trying to buy something. I was on the phone, internet all day today, trying to nail down the last two pieces of equipment. I got to go take a trailer tomorrow and pick up the rake from the place. They got it ready for me to pick up, so I've got to go get the triaxle trailer and get it, and then I've got to go unknown mileage tomorrow to see if I can find the other two pieces of equipment. If not, I want to wait until later in the month to buy it. So there's that. That's all the stuff for me. EDC's the Glock 30S and the Crossbreed Super Tuck, and carrying the Soft T Tourniquet. Got the E2D Defender Light, and tonight I am carrying the Ratworks Auto Knife.
Ratworks.
Yeah, that's because I was over feeding cows earlier, and it's a strong knife, and it cuts the grass strings. And well, they're actually nylon strings on the hay now.
I like that thing.
It's a heavy duty.
Mm-hmm.
What you carrying?
Oh, usual suspect, Glock 19. I actually looked at some new Glocks today. I've been looking at a 10 millimeter, and
Oh yeah,
I was down there today looking at them. I looked at that long slide
40.
40,
Yeah.
and I don't know that I like it that much.
If you're gonna be in bear country, it'd be nice. Or if you think you're gonna hunt with it, maybe. But I
Well,
don't know.
I think the 20 would do about the same thing.
Yeah. Wait, 4.6. Is it 20 or 4.6 or 4 point something inch barrel?
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least my Gen 1 is something like that. And I think the 40 is a 6 inch barrel. You can get a 6 inch barrel for a 20. Um, yeah, just drew a brain fog there.
I looked at Lone Wolf.
Yeah, Lone Wolf's got them.
Looked at a couple of theirs, and I don't know. I could actually get another barrel and play around with my 21 and take it from a 45 to a 10 millimeter.
Yeah, probably have to change one of your spring. You might have to change your spring out.
Yeah, you would. You'd have to put a stiffer spring in it, but
Yeah.
and probably have to change the extractor on it. But that defeats the purpose of buying a new gun, then, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, I just I got a conversion barrel that goes from a 10 millimeter to a 9 millimeter, and you had to put a lighter spring on it. Back when 10 millimeter got so high, then before I started reloading,
Too
I think
outrageous.
yeah, because I mean just to shoot all the time, and then I ended up getting a Glock with a 17, and then a 19, and then it just goes on from there. All right, so let's see. I didn't have any feedback. Do you have feedback?
Nope.
No iTunes.
Nope.
You've got a joke for us.
I do. I thought I'd go back to the blonde jokes today. This was a pretty good one. A blonde was driving down a highway, and all of a sudden, a cop sitting on the side of the road turns on the flashing red lights. The blonde sees the red lights and pulls over to the side of the road and waits for the cop. When the cop gets there, he says to the blonde, "Lady, you're doing 43 miles per hour in a 30-mile-an-hour zone." The blonde says, "No, I wasn't. The sign said 43." To this, the cop snaps back, "Lady, look, that's the highway number sign. The highway is 43, and you're doing 43 miles an hour in a 30-mile-an-hour zone." Blonde repeats her story again, claiming she was not speeding. Cop scratches his head. He walks back to his car to talk to his partner and see what he should do. After telling his partner the story, his partner says, "Well, Bill, you better go ahead and write her a ticket. the 401 is just ahead and we'll never catch her then.
Just because it says that's the limit doesn't mean you have to go it, though. At least that's the rule here in Kentucky. You only do the speed limit when there's a good place for someone to pass you. Otherwise, you drive like 20 miles an hour slower and weave all over the road.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's the way they're driving from me. Oh, well. I swear. Hart County drivers. I could go all day, but all right. So, you got a history lesson here too.
I did put a history lesson in.
Yeah.
You want to do it or you want me to do it?
No, go ahead.
So, on this day in history, December the 10th, the first Nobel Prizes awarded. First Nobel Prizes are awarded in Stockholm, Sweden, in the field of physics, chemistry, medicine, literature, and peace on December 10th, 1901. The ceremony came on the fifth anniversary of the death of Alfred Nobel, the Swedish inventor of dynamite and other high explosives. In his will, Nobel directed that the bulk of his vast fortune be placed in a fund in which the interest would be annually distributed in a form of prizes to those who, during the preceding year, shall have conferred the greatest benefit on mankind. Although Nobel offered no public reason for his creation of the prize, it is widely believed that he did so out of the moral regret over the increasingly lethal uses of his inventions in war. I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah. I thought it was kind of interesting that Obama won the Nobel Peace Prize before he ever actually did anything.
Yeah, for nothing.
Actually had more war than previous administration, if I remember correctly. Caused more death by drones than anyone in ever history and before history. All right, so let's see. We're down to the Bible verse. We're going to be in Micah. Oh man, I thought I had that up. I did have that up. Where'd it go? Oh no! Did I delete that? Well, guess you guys are going to take my word for it because I had the Bible verse up here ready to share and then it disappeared. All right, so the Bible verse tonight. But you, O Bethlehem, Ephraim, whatever that is, long word, Ephrathah.
Big word.
Covered wagons, as my dad used to say. You come to a word you can't say in the Bible, you say covered wagons and go on. Who are too little to be among the clans of Judah, from you shall come forth for me one who is to be the ruler in Israel, whose coming forth is from old, from ancient days. Therefore he shall give them up until the time when she is in labor and has given birth. Then the rest of the brothers shall return to the people of Israel, and he shall stand and be a shepherd of his flock in the strength of the Lord, in the majesty of the name of the Lord of his God, and they shall dwell secure. For now he shall be great to the ends of the earth, and he shall be their peace. And that comes from Old Testament, Micah, chapter 5, verses 2 through 5a, ESV version. So we're in the Christmas season. We're coming up, 15 days away? Something like that.
Yep.
So we're talking about the birth of Jesus. Now, I know calendar-wise, the birth of Jesus probably didn't occur on December 25th. As we know, the calendar has been messed with, and the church, being the Roman Catholic Church, had messed around with dates and things like that. And I don't know the exact date. There's different discussions, and I'm not going to get in a fight about that. But we celebrate Jesus' birthday on December 25th right now. And whether that's right or wrong, I don't know. But that's what we do. So as we are celebrating Jesus' birthday, we can do that every day of the year. every day of our lives that Jesus came to be that sacrifice, that sacrificial lamb that took the place of us, the payment for penalty of sin. God has a rule, and that rule is that when there is sin, there has to be a blood offering. And the Old Testament, Israel would sacrifice lambs as a uh, atonement for their sins, or they would have a scapegoat where they would put their sins on that goat and let it into the wilderness. There were different provisions God had made for the people of Israel to be able to be atoned for their sin when they had remorse or repented and returned to Him. But that wouldn't get them to be with them in heaven. There was only one sacrifice that was good enough that God would accept, and that was the sacrifice of His very own Son, Jesus. And so, in order for that to happen, He had to be born, and He was born of the Virgin Mary, Immaculate Conception. That's what we believe, and that He was the only acceptable sacrifice to God to atone for the sins of man, as all men were condemned under the first Adam for bringing sin, bringing the curse upon all mankind. The second Adam, being Jesus, was the atonement for all the sin from Adam until us, until Jesus comes back and returns for his flock. So we celebrate that, and we hopefully are celebrating that in honor of Jesus' sacrifice and God's willingness to forgive us. But sometimes we get wrapped up into wrapping presents and the trees and the ornaments and the uh, Christmas rock stuff. I mean, and everything that's become commercialized. I mean, the commercial aspect of Christmas. I can't talk tonight. I apologize.
Commercialization.
The commercialization. Is that right? I don't think it's right.
No.
Commercializing
There you go.
Christmas has been that everything is made into a product or into a jingle or into an ad or Coca-Cola with Santa Claus instead of milk and cookies, he's drinking Coca-Cola, or how everything has been commercialized. And over the years, it's been secularized to the point that Jesus isn't even mentioned anymore. It's just Christmas, Christ in the Christmas, or it's just mentioned holidays, which is holy days, which still sort of, people think, well, we can say happy holidays instead of saying Christmas. Well, holy day, okay. But they also throw in all the other religions that have holidays during the month of December. So, oh well, we know what we're talking about here. Well, maybe y'all know about what I'm talking about here, but I don't know if I know. All right, so that's pretty much about verses again tonight. There's so many different prophecies about who Jesus would be, attributes about Jesus, where he was born, all the things he would fulfill, that there's only one person in recorded history that fits that bill, and that would be the person of Jesus Christ.
Yep.
And so we'll leave Micah 5:2-5 there and go on down to the main topic. All I want for Christmas. Doug, what do you want for Christmas? Two front teeth?
Two front teeth. Actually, Wendy and I we got it accepted on a house finally, and we're in the process of buying it.
It only took you 2 years?
I know, right? 18 rejections before we got one, so it's going through the process. I've had the inspection done on it, and they've agreed to fix the few things that were on there. And the VA appraiser came out Tuesday, so now all I'm waiting is for them to get the appraisal back. And they had us closing on the 21st of December, and they had to move it back.
That was going to be Wendy's present?
That it still is going to be. Because
that's next year's present. You got to come up with something new.
Now we're closing on the 30th of December, supposedly. That's what they're telling me. But either way, I told her, I said, don't buy me nothing. We'll get the grandkids something, and we'll do that. And we draw names every year for all the adults in the family, and so you got to buy one present, so you get that done. But I told her, I said, don't buy anything for us because you're gonna be wanting new stuff for the house, and so that's all I want. I just get to go hunt. I'm gonna do a little hunting. I promise you that, and then I'll be going around seeing what all the grandbabies get Christmas Day. I'm sure.
Good deal. So I saw a post by Glenn Tate, and I don't know if you guys remember Glenn Tate. He was on the show. He's an author, writes survival books, and his wife Shelby Gallagher
Yep.
writes books. They came on the show, I don't know, a year or two ago, something like that, and they wanted to have us on their show coming up. So I told him after he got well, he has had COVID. He was in the hospital on the ventilator.
Yep.
He was in bad shape, and but Glenn is now back home and doing well, recovering, but it's going to be a long process. He was not allowed to have the treatment and stuff that he needed because Nazis. But he posted, he said, women, when men tell you they really don't want anything for Christmas, they're just happy that, where the kids want to get them or whatever and don't have to go to any trouble. They mean it. No, they mean it. They mean it. They're just happy that the family's happy. They don't want a bunch of money. They don't need a bunch of money spent on them and, whatever high karate or whatever kind of cologne the kids want to get or ties or whatever it is that the kids want to give them for Christmas. That's fine. And they really mean it because men buy what they want for themselves throughout the year.
Oh, you're talking about men.
Men.
I thought you were talking about women.
No, men. No,
oh, yeah, I agree with that.
He said, women, if you all want to get, if you ask men what they want, because the men get what they want throughout the year, and so they don't really, they don't really need you to buy something extravagant or something for Christmas. And of course, every woman is, oh, yeah, this is wonderful. And I've commented, I said, shh, Glenn, I had my wife looking at thermal binos, man. Well, she would not do. I mean, she looked at him and then she saw the price tag. She gave me a look like, are you out of your mind? Do you want to live by yourself?
Get her a pair of nods when you drop them down. She's like, what am I going to do with these? I don't want this. Okay, I'll take them.
Oh, well, yeah. If you don't want those little things, I'll take them off your hand.
Right.
Right. But, for the most sake, I told my wife has sort of figured out, like, I will buy myself my Christmas present because I don't want anybody making a mistake.
Right.
Last year was about the toughest one for her because I said, Doug sent me a care package. She said, because your box came in and she saw it, I said, what's that? I said, it's Doug's care package. And you had some other stuff in there. I forgot what all you sent. But she said, that looks expensive. I said, what is that? I was like, that's a thermal scope. What's that cost? Oh, you don't want to know.
It wasn't as bad as the next model up, put it that way.
No, that's true. I did save her at least $1,000.
Oh, or more?
I should have put it the way women do. You realize how much money I saved? I got this lower price model. I saved you $1,000.
Right.
Like, wait, how much was the original? No, it's Christmas time anymore. It's gotten to be wrapped up and commercialized stuff and things like that. But it's a nostalgic time that we love and spending time with the kids and just getting this hang out together and playing games and cards and having hot cocoa and sitting around in pajamas and talking and stuff like that. We're not going to have very many more of those years. Daphne and Gunnar are going to be out of here pretty soon. They're both in their second year of college. They'll be going to third year, which means they're probably going to be hitting the road somewhere. But they'll be home for Christmas, hopefully.
Oh, yeah.
Unless they get married and some jerk or some girl that won't let them come visit. Then we'll have to have a talk. No, but it's a good time to be able. It's a family time, I think just like once we get into December, it just seems like we want to spend more time with our family. We want to spend more time together and stuff like that. Doug wants to spend more time in a tree stand, but
Yep.
it's just like it's like I don't know. I guess it goes back to the farming style of the family. I can remember my grandparents once the crops were in, they started kicking back and enjoying. They go shopping and stuff. Before that, it was work, 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 and sun up to sundown. My grandparents and then once all the crops were in, and all you had to do is go out and throw some hay to the cows every once in a while. Everybody started to kick back and relax. And it's just like you got to spend time going hunting. I mean, I remember most of my Christmases involved going hunting with my uncle, my dad, my grandparents, and my granddads,
Hmm.
and it's just great memories of those times. We come in from out hunting all morning, and grandmother would have a big old skillet of gravy and squirrel and
Oh,
rabbit and sausage and just all kinds of fixings and biscuits and it was just good times and fried apple pies and then we go back out and go hunting after that. Rubber bellies trying to get up and down them hills.
oh yeah.
I just I always looked forward to December. It seemed like everything just sort of slowed down for a little while and we just seemed like a restful time in my life when I was young.
Until the tobacco stripping came in.
But yeah, your fingers turned numb because wasn't enough heat in the barn.
Yeah. I remember, man, probably my best Christmas ever. My mom and dad gave me and my brother both uh, Daisy pump up BB guns
Oh yeah.
and a big old milk carton full of BBs in them. We
Mm,
went out behind the barn and we had everything possible hung up in trees, Coke cans, you name it, green bean cans. Man, they didn't they didn't see us for days. We
yeah.
still back there shooting, 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 shooting.
Yeah.
That thing was the most fun.
Yeah. I can remember when I was little having a little lever action 22. I forgot wasn't a Red Rider. It was a cheaper version of that. I might have had a Red Rider. I went through I don't know how many of them things when I was little.
Oh
I think
yeah.
I wore them out. I mean, the spring ones, I wore them things out. I would shoot so many through it, and then they would just like stop. They were like wore completely down. I'd put oil in them and everything. They still, and they got to where it didn't have enough power to knock anything over. And then it's like, I need another one. But I can remember my first Christmas present when I was 6. I got an actual 22 rifle. And then when I was 7, I got a 410 shotgun. And then when I don't guess I got another gun until I was 10. I got another shotgun. I got a 12 gauge, and that was whew. At 10. I was a pretty good sized boy at 10, but that was still rock my world. And then at 12, I bought a 357 Magnum pistol for myself because my parents didn't wasn't going to foot the bill. But I had my pig money, and I had my we had pigs, we had cattle, we had what else did we have? Had bottle calves, and then we would help out the tobacco. And I was a little bit young yet to throw hay. At 12, I started helping out, but I guess I was probably 14 before I started really throwing hay.
Hmm.
And so we always had money to spend on our own gifts. Seemed like if we wanted something really bad, but now this first year my dad won't be with us, so it's going to be different.
Yep.
And then
It's a tough one.
mom is trying to decide if she wants to go back to Florida or stay up here. She'll be back up here for Christmas and stuff. So it's going to be an unusual year. It's first year I won't have my grandmother Terry. Grandma Terry passed away in February, and then Dad passed away in August. So it's going to be a little bit of a tough time. Imagine this Christmas.
Yeah. Yesterday would have been my mom's birthday, so that's always tough.
Yeah.
But well, I I made a post about it, and a couple of my cousins were chiming in, and I told them, I said, man, we all do need to get together as a family, because we were talking. It's funny, we are our parents now.
Mm-hmm.
We
Yep.
are the grandparents and stuff. So it kind of feels weird, but we
I
all need to
know.
get together and have
Yeah.
that tight knit. We were talking about um, our, our moms and dads all getting together, and I can remember playing rook um, at the table after Thanksgiving or Christmas. Everybody be at somebody's house, playing,
Yep.
and they'd thump us kids on the head and tell us to leave and quit messing with them when they were playing cards.
Rick said that his mom would never get him one.
Who put his eye out?
Yeah. I believe that's probably true, Rick. I think you were that kid. But I say that, but I have shot a BB and shot a cup that was in like a dump, and that BB went in that cup, come back, hit me right in the safety glasses.
Uh,
And the other one hit me right there in the cheek. Then a girl shoot me in the stomach one time with a BB pistol. I had to dig that out with a pocket knife. It went up in there deep. She was a
I,
little bit of a mean girl.
I tell you what, Rick will probably get. He won't get ticked at me. Too bad. But Rick's been going through a little bit of a tough time. Um, had been had been battling some stuff medically, but he got some great news. He'd been going through some treatment and stuff, and he got some test results back, and he is flying high today. And I told him, I said, God answers prayers, buddy,
Good deal.
because there's been a bunch of us praying for him that he get to feeling better, and he got the test results, and God answered them prayers.
Good deal. Praise the Lord.
Yep, absolutely.
Good to hear, Rick. Yeah, I can remember my earliest memories. It seems like I have of were cat pistols,
Oh yeah,
and there was a gun that my uncle Bill got me that was brown. It was about this long. It was made out of metal, and it had batteries in it, and it had two barrels, and they shot like this, and it had sparks that came out of it. It was the coolest thing ever, and that thing disappeared. And I found out years later. I think one of my parents have hit it somewhere. It had a machine gun sound. Like,
imagine that.
I run around the house with that thing for all over the place. I found that thing years later, and it brought back a lot of memories. But I was like, "Where you been?" But my wife, she still got cat pistol from when she was a little girl, and had the whole rig. The two holsters and
Oh
the
yeah,
little leather thing. And when I remember when Tim was 6 for his birthday, we bought him the whole cowboy setup. We had the hat, Stetson hat. He had the leather vest. He had the dueling, pistols and the dual cat pistols and the cowboy boots. He was set up.
I had those too, buddy.
Yeah, that brought back some memories. I need to get something like that for my grandson. I had not thought of that until just now. I remember we got pictures of him uh, all decked out, but we sort of spoiled him. First one, you always spoil the first one, don't you?
Seemed like we spoiled them all.
Yeah, the first one and the last one. Last one gets where they want. First one gets the cool stuff. They get all the blame.
Yep.
Oh well. Let's get to rolling here. We're running out of time. I got alarms going off everywhere. We got storms rolling in here, hot and heavy. So if I disappear, Doug, you got to wrap the show up.
All
Apparently,
right.
tornadoes on the way, and high winds and rain. And my daughter, one daughter's on her way home from volleyball, and my other daughter is at work. And so y'all pray for her to be safe because it looks like most of the storm's heading that way. All right, let's see. That's all the Christmas. That's all of the. We want to thank our sponsor again, Primary Arms, for sponsoring the show. They take good care of us, and you guys go over there and give them a little bit of love. Also, how you can help out is patches like that one over there.
This you talking about this one?
That one, yeah.
There we go.
I don't have a patch behind me tonight,
You
but
don't.
we got patches and stickers, and we have. Well, I'll talk about that another time. We also have a Subscribe Star account. You guys have been kind enough to ask, how can you send us money? Other than writing a check and mail it to P.O. Box 5, Magnolia, Kentucky, you can you can go to Subscribe Star, and it's God. Let's see, it's subscribestar.com/God dash and dash and
And dash guns.
and dash and guns. I tell you, man, I cannot put my tongue with my brain tonight. But we had a Patreon account, and they kicked us off because they don't like God or guns, apparently.
Nope.
And so we ended up getting a Subscribe Star account, so you can, if you'd like to donate something to our Christmas stocking, you can do that. And you get the last two, and then we got the Armed Citizen of the Week.
Hey, so our first one, Christmas is coming up. These guys are running some great specials and sales. First one's PowerTac lights. Hey, who does not need a flashlight in their car? Everybody does. I told my wife the other day I was going to actually get a flashlight and some jumper cables for all my kids and let them put in their car.
Yeah, we did that last year, year before.
Yep. That way they don't call me, Dad, you got your jumper cables? I'm like, yeah, I do. Anyway, go check our buddies out at PowerTac Lights. If you're looking for a light for a stocking stuffer or hunting light or a weapons light, they got one for you. Check them out at powertac.com. Use promo code God and Guns, and they'll give you 40% off for just listening to the show. Now, it's not going to work like it used to. If they're giving 50% off, they're not going to give you 40% more. Right. They caught on to that pretty quick. But they are good folks. So if they're giving 50% on their site, order it through them, but tell them, hey, I heard about it through God and Guns. That way they know we are talking them up. Also, Crossbreed holsters. If you're looking for a good holster, sturdy holster, there's a couple right there. It doesn't matter pretty much what kind of gun you're carrying. They make a holster for it, and they got it in all different ways to carry. If you want one next to your bed, you got one in your vehicle, carrying on your person, or your wife wants one in her pocketbook, Crossbreed makes a holster for them. So go check our buddies out at crossbreedholsters.com. Use promo code G&G over there, and they will give you 10% off for just listening to the show. So go check them out and tell them we sent you.
Good deal. Armed Citizen of the Week. What happened?
This week's Armed Citizen comes to us, and I hope this was not a typo, because it just looks weird. A man in Spotsylvania, Virginia, was not defenseless when another attempted to rob him at an ATM October 15th of 2021. Excuse me. The man was at an ATM of the Bank of America branch around 9 p.m. that Friday night when another man approached him as he was holding his cash. In a threatening manner, the stranger approached the man and then physically struck him several times. However, unknown to the crook, his intended victim was also a concealed carry permit holder. As the assailant hit him, the man was able to draw his concealed handgun and fire several rounds at the crook, prompting the would-be robber to run across the street and flee. As police responded to the scene of the attempted robber, they received another call from a man who reported that he was shot at while at the ATM. The caller turned out to be the 24-year-old would-be crook who was arrested and charged with attempted robbery. And that comes to us from Fredericksburg.com in Fredericksburg, Virginia.
Good deal.
Didn't take him out, but they got him.
Maybe it'll change his life's trajectory.
Hey, got him off of him, right?
Yep. Whatever it takes. 21, 22. What is it? What is the old thing? 110, 111, whatever it takes.
220, 221.
Yeah. Let's see. Billy was over and said, or you could hand the money at lunch. I said, that works. Billy handed me some money at lunch. A lot of
Did he?
Yes. Billy is a contributor to God and Guns.
Nice. Thank you, Billy.
Billy, a.k.a. William Whittam. I know I messed your last name up, but I don't really care, Billy. Billy likes to razz me. He was the one that's talking about a combine. What's a combine?
Yeah.
I'm like, you're from Missouri. You know what a combine is. Surely. Now,
Don't
there
call me
might be some
Shirley.
people out there in the audience that don't know what a combine is, or a bar rake, or a disc mower, or a disc mine, or
Mm-hmm.
hose, hog rings. I did
Bull cinch.
find I couldn't find square balers, and I was almost to the point I was going to buy a round baler because I found these hay rings that have a roof over them. They're like two pieces, and you connect them together, and it goes over
Mm-hmm.
the bale, so it keeps the water off of them, so you don't have as much waste. The reason I don't like round bales, and I know you people are like, you quit talking about farming. The reason I don't like round bales is so much waste, and then where the cows, where the hay's at, they all tear the ground up because they stand in there in that one spot, and so it turns into a big mud patch.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's in the pasture field, it messes up, 100-foot circle, or not 100-foot, maybe 30-foot circle of where the hay ring is. And then you got to go back in there and sow the grass, and it makes a hard spot because they stand in at one spot, pack it in. And so I like feeding the hay in the barn because then I can scoop a lot more manure up and then take it and spread it on the gardens and on the pastures and stuff like that. I do need a manure
Yep.
spreader too. So if anybody knows that anyone's got a manure spreader, pretty reasonable. And people are like, "What's a manure spreader?"
And people are like, they make those?
Oh yeah, yeah. They make liquid ones too. What's a crop duster? You're a crop duster, Billy. Let's see. So let's see. Let's wrap this thing up. We're getting into the second hour here. Send your feedback to Troy at GuidingGunsPodcast.com, or
Doug at GuidingGunsPodcast.com.
please tell your friends about us. Leave us an iTunes review and like us on Facebook at Facebook.com/GuidingGunsPodcast. You can subscribe and follow us on YouTube. Make sure you click that notification bell so that you get notified. If you haven't already, please hit the thumbs up on whatever device, platform, social media you're on. And
Yes.
if you're listening on a podcast, give us a thumbs up whenever you're back on your computer, please, or send us a review. That would be awesome. Wimkin, we've got Wimkin's page, we've got a Rumble page, we've got a MeWe page, we've got a website called GuidingGunsPodcast.com. Well, until next time, Doug, have a blessed week.
And keep your guns close, but keep your Bibles closer. You guys have a good night.
Adios.